Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're having a good day. So, I went yesterday and got myself a new phone. So, you guys may be knowing I'm an Apple fanboy, but this phone is not Apple. So, I will be doing a full review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G. So this beast has a 5.5-inch 720p display. So I'll show you the hardware first, then we'll go into the software. So on the right hand side from the screen, there are two volume rockers and the lock and unlock switch, or the sleep wake button. On the bottom we've got the micro USB connector and a microphone. On the left hand side we've got nothing. On the back we've got that brilliant 13 megapixel camera, that LED flash, the MI branding, the speaker grill, and on top we've got a 3.5mm headphone jack and another microphone. So these two microphones are noise cancellation microphones, which are really good for video recording and while taking calls. So this phone, to fit into pockets, is really simple, only for boys, but girls' pockets are not that big for this phone. Pretty big. So this screen is 5.5 inches but only 720p and not full HD. This is just 720 pixels and it has a PPI of only 267. So this is just 9.5 millimeters thick, which is relatively thick compared to the 7.1 millimeters on the iPhone 6 Plus, and it has the same screen size as the iPhone 6 Plus. It is 6.06 inches tall and 3.10 inches wide. So this phone runs Android 4.4.2 or KitKat, and a Lollipop update is coming up soon, maybe in May or June. Xiaomi decided to take the UI into their own hands and they made something called MIUI, which is really smooth, but the functionality is not that great compared to stock Android experience, as I am a user who ditched a Sony Xperia which had almost a stock Android experience, which I loved the most. So now let's talk about the specs. This has a Snapdragon 400 processor, which is quad core and runs at 1.6 GHz. This beast has 2 gigs of RAM and 8 gigs of internal storage, which is expandable with a micro SD card up to 64 gigabytes. So this phone has a removable back panel with a SIM card slot, a micro SD slot, and the huge 3100 mAh battery with the LED flash and the camera right here. So let's pop this back cover on. It fits nice and snug right there. The plastic's kind of good quality. It's hard plastic, it's not flimsy. So then let's talk about the camera. The primary camera, or the back camera, is 13 megapixel with a BSI sensor and an LED flash. It has autofocus while taking a video, and that whole camera test video will be an entire separate video, as I want to talk a lot about the camera. And the front facing camera, as you can see there, is just 5 megapixel, which is more than enough for a front facing camera. And there we've got the earpiece. So MIUI has only one page, no 2 pages, just one page, which is kind of plain and boring. But the iPhone also has this, but this looks very plain and boring. It has Google Now also built in, which is obvious in all Google phones. It has a notification slider which shows you notifications and toggles there. So we have airplane mode, Bluetooth, do not disturb screenshot, rotation, vibrate, ring, GPS, torch, Wi-Fi connection, data, and more. We have a brightness slider here which helps you to slide your brightness. So this is pretty plain. We have a camera app, gallery, music, themes, which I'll be talking about in the new camera test video, settings, Play Store, tools, in which there's many interesting tools to talk about, security, calendar, notes, weather app is pretty good. I'll show it to you right now. It's pretty good interface, not that bad for Xiaomi. Google apps, the standard stock Google apps which you get with the phone. Flipkart, because I got it from Flipkart, they make an app built in. Swift key, which is already built in, and Flexi. We have WhatsApp, Instagram and Twitter, and at the bottom we have phone, contacts, browser and messaging. At the bottom we have 3 capacitive buttons here which are LED lit and are not that bright, as you can see, and there's no setting for it to time down or time out, so it times out pretty quick. So I will be testing the speaker now, so go to sound meter. The speaker is pretty decent. I'm talking very softly now because I don't want the speaker to get those decibel recorder to get maybe affected by my voice. So speaker placement is also a big issue on this phone. It's placed on the back of the phone, with which the speaker can get easily muffled, which I will show you an example of right now. So the speaker's pretty loud now, not that much disturbance, but then look at this. That's a lot of muffling. Now look, that's loud. It's completely gone, almost. The bass is also not that good on the speakers, and I don't think it's that good. The speaker quality, I will rate it about 4 out of 8 maybe, or 5 out of 10 at least. Anyways, that was the review of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G. There will be a full video in which I'll be testing the camera, both front and back cameras. I'll be testing out the UI later on and telling you the battery, how the battery did in that video. And there'll be another separate video in which I'll be testing that good Adreno 305 GPU, and they'll be giving performance. Cheers, and see you guys in the next one.